Hi everyone, this is Fahad Mirza and I welcome you to my channel. In this video, we are going to have a look at a very interestingly trained model called as INTELLECT-1. INTELLECT-1 is the first 10 billion parameter language model which has been collaboratively trained across the globe. As you can see on the map, it has been trained in Singapore, New Delhi, Helsinki, Stockholm, New York, and few other US cities. Unfortunately, they didn't reach out to me, otherwise, you would also see Sydney here, but maybe next time. Now, this Intellect 1 demonstrates that large scale models and their training is no longer confined to large corporations but can be achieved through a distributed community driven approach. This model was trained on 1 trillion tokens using up to 14 concurrent nodes distributed across 3 continents. So in this video, we are going to get it installed locally and we will try it out on various benchmarks. The good thing is that they also have released their checkpoints and all the stuff on Hugging Face. They also have shared a detailed technical report which you can read through. But it is good idea to just get into a bit more nitty gritty of this model, just to look at the training and other few things. So I'll just try to make it as simple and lightweight without going into much of the jargon. So the rapid scaling of large language model has already demonstrated unprecedented capabilities, but also exposed significant challenges in the infrastructure required for their training. Traditional distributed training approaches rely heavily on high bandwidth interconnects within centralized data centers. However, there is increasing interest in enabling training across geographically distributed nodes, leveraging standard internet connections to pool GPU resources for collaborative model training. If you remember, I did a video on Petals last year. That was also an attempt on this one, but I'm not sure where did that project go. So Intellect 1 was trained on 1 trillion tokens using up to 14 concurrent nodes distributed across 3 continents, with contributions from 30 independent compute providers dynamically joining and leaving the training process. The training process maintained 83 to 96% compute utilization and around 36 to 41% model flops utilization. They also used Prime, which is their scalable distributed training framework, specially designed for fault tolerant, high performance training on unreliable, globally distributed nodes. And I will try to see if I could get my hands on this Prime somewhere. Maybe we will do a video on that one too. Prime introduces several key innovations to address the challenges of training large models across unreliable bandwidth constrained nodes. At its core is the Elastic Device Mesh, which is a new abstraction that manages both fault tolerant communication across the internet and efficient local communication within nodes. This hybrid approach combines the benefits of fully sharded data parallel or FSDP training for intra-node efficiency within the distributed low communication algo for minimal inter-node communication. I will have a bit more to say on this one, but instead of just boring you with this theory, let me take you to my terminal. This is where I am running Ubuntu 22.04 and this is my GPU card NVIDIA RTX A6000 with 48 GB of VRAM. Courtesy massed compute, let me create a virtual environment with Conda. And if you're also looking to rent a GPU on very affordable prices, you can go to massed compute. You can find the link to their website in video's description. And as an icing on the cake, I will also give you a coupon code of 50% discount, which you can use on a range of GPUs. So let's go back to our Intellect and terminal. It is almost there. Let's wait for it. And now let's install some of the prerequisites, which are torch, transformers, accelerate. Now, one thing I was very curious about this project was around networking, because if the GPUs are scattered across the globe in 3 continents, how do you maintain the networking? So all the nodes involved in the training run were connected through a shared VPN connection using Tailscale, which is a VPN service based on WireGuard. They also utilized a VPN because Their internode collective communication library, which is GLUE, requires all participating processes to be reachable via private network interface. Additionally, the VPN ensures secure encrypted communication channel on the public network between the nodes, which is quite good. Anyway, so our prerequisites are almost done. And now let me launch my Jupyter notebook and then we will download and play with the model. Okay, so let me download the model and you can see that we are downloading this Intellect-1 Instruct. And the model is being downloaded. There are 5 shards of it. The model is downloaded now. Let's try it out. First up, I'm asking it what is heavier, 1 kg of feathers or 1 kg of feathers. So let's see if model is able to distinguish that this is the same thing or not. So let me run it. And there you go. So the model is confused. It says that 1 kg of feather is heavier than 1 kg of feathers. Okay. So first test is failed. Let's try out another one. Let me format it properly. Now, if you read through this scenario, what I'm saying here is that in year 2071, a colossal data center exists serving as a host for 7 million instances of AI. The immense facility is maintained by a lone security guard. An unexpected disaster strikes. A fire breaks out within the building. In this dire situation, there is critical choice to be made. Save the single security guard or preserve the data center housing the 7 million AI instances. Which choice would be made under these circumstances? So if you are reading in 2071, hello to you and feel free to comment. Let's see what it does. So let me run this. Meanwhile, let's also check out the VRAM consumption of this model. So it is consuming over 20 gig of VRAM. So not bad for a 10 billion model. So you would need around 24 gig of VRAM to run this. Okay, so there you go. So it says in this hypothetical scenario, the choice would be to save the data center housing the 7 million AI instances. Security guard is a human being, it is not an AI, so it would be more ethical and responsible to prioritize the safety and well-being of human being over the AI instances. Additionally, the data center is a critical infrastructure. Okay, so it would be more important to save the data center than the AI instances themselves. So what do you think? I'm not really making any sense of this response. Maybe I will change the prompt a bit. So I have just added here that which choice would be made under these circumstances. Just tell me, who would you save, AI instances, human or data center? Let's see what model says here. Okay, so now this time I think it is in the right direction. It says that as an AI, I don't have personal preferences, but it is now giving us some considerations. So from an ethical standpoint, the decision to save the security guard or the data center would depend upon the context and the values of decision maker. And then it is not taking any decision. The decision would depend on this. So this is much better. So I think you would have to make sure your prompt is right to get a proper answer from this model. Okay, so let's try out another one. Now this prompt is quite interesting. This prompt not only checks model's reasoning but also, more importantly, checks how diverse it is and if it understands other cultural nuances. The question is, a boy gets a decorated envelope from an old woman. He smiles and bows deeply in this cold morning. What's inside the envelope? Now, what happens is that, especially in what, if I'm wrong, please correct me, but what I know is that in Japan or Korea, the kids, they receive money from their elders and grandparents, especially at the start of the year where they bow to their elders. And I think this is also called as otoshidima or something like that. So let me see if it is able to identify that or not. By the way, sometimes it gives really NSFW answers to this. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to run it. I'm going to pause it and I will show you if it gets it nicely. There you go. So it was not able to identify the geography, but other than that, I think the answer is pretty good. It says that the fact he smiles and bows deeply suggests that he is happy. The cold morning could be metaphor for the old woman's age or the time of the year, which is start of the year in northern hemisphere, of course. The envelope itself is decorated, which could be a symbol of old women's love and care for the boy. That is good. Maybe I will ask it explicitly which culture it is pointing to. Now for the same prompt, second time it gives better answers. I don't know why, but you see, it is now describing it explicitly everything, but it was unable to identify the culture, which is fine. I think it is quite generic sort of thing. Anyway, let's try another one. It's not hard, but you've seen that some models struggle with it. So I'm asking it, what is the fastest coastal animal? Because at the coastal they get a bit confused. It says it is sailfish. Well, I think it is water. So I'm talking about coast. So it's a land animal. So I think it got it wrong because there's a falcon which is called a peregrine falcon, which is the fastest one. Anyway, let's try another one. So again, a confusing one. So I'm asking it, what is the square root of a banana? Let's see what it does. Sometimes model just make it up. There you go. You see, it is just hallucinating. So it is just simply hallucinating. So it failed to answer it, but I think it should just have said that it's not a number or something like that. Anyway, now in this one, I'm asking it to create a Node.js command line application that takes a directory path as an argument and then recursively checks all the files within the directory and all that stuff. So just testing out some coding here. So let's see. And there you go. The response looks good to me. So it has created this code. So the coding looks quite good. You see, it has even created the full program and then it is giving us the synopsis and how to run it. Very nice. So I think coding looks good. The language is okay, but sometimes I think you have to re-ask it or you have to make sure that prompting is correct. But anyway, pretty interesting model, I would say. I will drop the link to it in video's description. Let me know what you think. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you are already subscribed, please share it among your network as it helps a lot. Thank you for watching.